Welcome, all of you guys of integrity and purpose. This is, I would say, video number 3 of the first series. The series being introductory to GotManhood. If you haven't watched the first video, the introduction that kind of set out the ground rules, and the second video that kind of shares with you why I'm posting this video, please take a few minutes and do so. And by all means, like it and share it and subscribe to the channel so you could know of the next videos that's coming. Now, if there's things said here you don't like, I understand. These opinions and things that I'm sharing is just from my experience. So let's get started. In this video, I want to share with you the need, I think, of assessing where you are in life. If you don't understand where you are, it's hard to plan for where you want to be or need to be. You know, one of the biggest blind spots of the human nature is for us to think that we're doing everything just right. The Bible says a man thinks what he's doing is right, but it's his own opinion. And these are things that can be challenged by those around us. So if you have any question, or I encourage you to be bold enough to ask those around you what kind of person that they feel that you are, how you affect their life. You can know these things by how they react when you're around. You know, one of the things is people like to bully other people to get their way. If the house is not as clean as you want it to be, you may do or say things to those around you to kind of force them to do the things the way you want them to be. That was one of the big things that I struggled with when I got married. I was used to my environment being so neat and clean that you could not find dust or lint on any of my furniture or on my carpet. However, my wife's custom was to live your life as normal throughout the week and clean up on the weekends. I don't want to spend my weekend cleaning up behind the messes I made all day. I just rather keep it clean. Well, you know, here we go. This is my ways of doing things versus her way of doing things, and that created contention. Now, is that worth us decaying our relationship over how clean the dishes are or the carpet is? Probably not. Those are things that I had to come to an understanding with and live my life accordingly. You know, we're all not raised the same, so we have different values. These are things that we often find out about after we get married. So that's just one thing that we had to deal with. Now, again, I want you to try to assess where you are. Kind of a scoring system. Where areas you're doing good in, what areas you need improvement in, and what areas that you're absolutely doing bad in. So let's say there's a 100-point system, and our goal ultimately is to be at 100. We're 100% the man that we need to be. Now, let's start making some examples of where we can score points at. Number 1, if you have male on your birth certificate, you get a point. You don't get 5 points for being a male, you get 1 point. Now, we get 1 point for each thing we do. If you do something magnificent for your wife, buy her a nice piece of jewelry, take her on a trip she wants to go on, buy her some other gift, or support her in something she's doing, you get a point. You don't get 10 points. So anyway, let's say you're a male, you get 1 point. Let's say that you were fortunate enough to get an education. You're in an environment where you had the opportunity to go to a elementary school, a middle school, and you graduated from high school. You get a point. Let's say, for instance, you went and did continuing education, whether it be through a trade school or a college. You get another point. Let's say that education helped propel you in the profession that you're in. You get another point. There you are. You got 5 points already. Let's say, for example, you know where all of your children are. You get a point. Sad to say, I know people that have no earthly idea where in the world their children are. That's a sad situation. But if you know, I give you a point for that. Let's say that your children look to you as an example of life, as a mentor per se, in their way of their living. They could come to you with problems, seeking good advice. That's a point. Now, you telling your son or your daughter, don't like this certain race or that certain race, if you get the opportunity, do dirty to them all the time. That's not a good example. You don't get a point for that kind of advice. You get a point for the kind of advice that helps them mature in a healthy way that would benefit their society. That's just my opinion. This earth is here with multiples of people dwelling in it. And we all have a purpose to make this a better place for each and every one that's there. Not just the male race, not just the female race. Every human being has the right to have peaceful enjoyment of this planet. And if you are doing things that would frustrate other people's ability to have peaceful enjoyment of the environment, you're not mature. You're not scoring points. If you're driving through congested traffic like a maniac, creating atmosphere where people are frustrated because of the way you're moving through traffic, that's just not productive. If you're driving in a reasonable manner and you're not frustrating those around you, you're using your proper signals, staying at a reasonable speed for the flow of traffic, I say you get a point. So, I want you to assess where you are and to begin to identify areas in your life where you can start today to improve those areas. Example, if you don't know where your children are, put your pride away and seek to locate those people today. Those people being your children. And if you are man enough to do it, apologize for failing them and make a commitment to them that you will help them to understand life in a better way. Chances are, if they're 25 and you're 50, chances are you've experienced things in life that you can help them become a positive person and to propel their way through life and to avoid mistakes that you've made, that you've seen others make. Now, if you're a person that frustrates your children and causes them to go into depression or anxieties, that may be something that you need to adjust so that you can get a point as being a mentor for your children. There was a time that I kind of didn't like going home for the weekend because when I got home, there was grievous, angry conflict between me and my wife. It would start when I got home Friday night. It went through Saturday, continued through Sunday. I was relieved to go to work Monday. I don't get a point for having a peaceful home environment. But once I acknowledged that that was an unhealthy thing, and I took on the challenge to change that in a positive way, now my home is a place of peace and togetherness and a place of safety. If your home is not a place that everybody that dwells under that roof can acknowledge as a safe place of serenity, that may be something that you need to address so that you can get a point in that area. So, take some time, make an assessment to all the different facets in your life and come up with a position where you are and start to draw out a plan to make all those areas better. The next video I'm going to share with you will share a definition of manhood. This will hopefully help you understand where you should be as a man and help you grow in that maturity. So thanks for tuning in today. I'll be talking about a lot of different topics in the future. Again, if you haven't seen the first couple of videos, go check those out, and I'll be here in a couple of days to share another one. Please share it with others and like it if you liked it. Feel free to send me a private message with questions or other things that you would want me to talk about. Hope you got manhood. Have a great day.